So, yeah, welcome to the first Breathing Buddies of 2026. Let's start making sure we're sat nice and straight. And without much instruction, take a few nice full breaths. So whatever pace you want to breathe at right now. See if you can draw the air deep into your belly. So what we're working on here is just making sure that we're breathing what I call breathing deep, which means breathing low. Deep doesn't necessarily mean big, it means breathing low into the body. So the image I like to use for this is that you're blowing a balloon up inside your abdomen. So your belly moves out as you inhale, the ribs move out to the side, there's even a little movement out to the back as well. Blowing up this balloon and squeezing it. Empty again, mostly empty. Blowing it up, squeezing it empty. And then you might want to place one hand on your upper chest. The key here is, can you do this exercise without moving this top hand? So when I'm working with people on their functional breathing, making sure we're recruiting all the right muscles and getting the most out of everyday breathing, this is one of the key components, is making sure that when we're breathing deep, we're breathing low into the body, there's no need for this upper hand to move. Some people find this easier than others. It's just something to note for now, not to be critical of yourself if you find that difficult. But if you can feel your upper hand moving, or you can feel your shoulders moving even as you're breathing in, it's just worth noting that there's a little bit more you can do to recruit the proper muscles, to be making sure you're using your diaphragm properly, really just thinking about this idea of blowing the balloon up inside your belly. And this is really fundamental to finding relaxation through a breathwork practice. For breathing into the upper chest, that's a place of stress and anxiety. We breathe into the belly, it's a place of emotional regulation, relaxation. Okay, so you've been taking some nice deep breaths, some full breaths. Rest your hands now if you want, or you can leave it on your chest, whatever feels comfortable. We're just going to check in, see how things are now. Gives us a place to work from, to see what's potentially going to change as we practice some of these exercises. So, if you're comfortable doing so, you could close your eyes. If not, maybe just lowering your gaze. Let's start rolling the shoulders a little bit. Anything we can do to relax ourselves just a little bit now, a little bit more. At the end of the day, all the better. Backwards and forwards, if that's good for you. Maybe you need to stretch your neck a little bit. All very gentle. Perhaps it's been a day of talking and you could do wiggling your jaw. Then we need to relax our face as well. The easiest way to do that is to apply a little bit of a smile. Quick way to relax your face. And moving up and thinking about all those tiny intricate muscles around your eyes. See if you can give them permission to relax for a little while. 20 minutes or so is all we're asking. In doing that, you might feel your forehead relax and your scalp. And then check in with just how you're feeling. What does it feel like to be you right now? Just noting how you're feeling without any judgment. Perhaps noticing what's happening with your breathing. How does it feel? Slow, fast, easy, laboured, shallow or deep. So this is a passive exercise. I think it's kind of, we've got a balance. We need to have a balance. We need to have a balance in life, but we need to have a balance in the breathwork practice. So the active part is actually doing the exercises, but we need this passive part as well. We need to practice awareness so that we know what's changed. This is especially important as we try and apply these practices to daily life. So what we'll do now, in the middle of this checking in, we'll come back to it. I'm going to practice the physiological side. It's a nice way of spotting a change that'll occur quite quickly, or should do. So this exercise, very simple. You take a nice full breath into your belly, top it up with a little sip. Sigh out of your mouth. You can breathe out of your mouth there. Deep breath into your belly, little sip. Sigh it out. Deep breath in, little sip. Sigh it out. Deep breath in, little sip. Sigh it out. And one more for good luck. Deep breath in, little sip. Sigh it out. Now go straight back into that state of awareness, of practicing awareness. What's changed, if anything, in terms of your physical state, your mental state? What have you noticed? It's also the act of practicing acceptance. Things are as they are. We can want things to change, but sometimes they don't. This is all carried out without judgment. So we're checking in at a point of rest, but it's important to check in at various points during the day. If you're under day-to-day stress, acute stress, you can't change anything unless you know what's going on. It doesn't mean you need to sit down for 5 minutes. Just about checking in what's going on with your breathing, if we're in this context, and then what can you change. Very often it's doing the physiological side. It's the fastest way of ridding ourselves of physical anxiety. Okay, let's move now into some very gentle, easy, coherent breathing. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4. Then that will then morph into some box breathing. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Okay, so we need to get in sync with this. So take a breath in and out, and then breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 3, 4. Exhale, 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 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 3, 4. Inhale, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 4. Inhale, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 4. Inhale, 3, 4. Exhale. Let's move to box breathing there. So inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, relax. Take some nice easy breaths. Whatever your body needs to do just for a second, and go back to, return to that passive state. And just checking in. Has anything changed? What's it like to be you right now? We just rest and let that settle. I'm going to do a couple more counted practices. We'll do a few rounds now of 4, 7, 8 breathing. That's inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a count of 7, exhaling for a count of 8. So again, we need to get ourselves in sync. So you take a breath in, exhale, and then breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, relax. Take some nice, easy breaths. Again, just noting if anything's changed. Before we move on to the next configuration of inhales and exhales. I'm going to move into restful breath. Inhale for a count of 4, exhale for 6, and a little pause at the end. In for 4, out for 6. A little pause. Okay. Let's get in sync again. Take a breath in. Exhale. Then breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. I'm going to drop the count. Exhale. 5, 6. Pause. Inhale. Exhale. So now just carry on at your own pace. Inhale. The idea here is just to make your exhalation longer than your inhalation, a little pause at the end. And this contour that we're describing, if we're in good health with good functional breathing patterns, this is ideally the sort of pattern our bodies might be in when we're in a state of rest. Breathing at around 6 to 8 breaths per minute, which we probably spend most of the day breathing around 12 to 14 breaths per minute. The deep breathing lower into the body helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps us to enter a parasympathetic state, a rest and digest state. Helps us relax, unwind, de-stress, reduce anxiety, reduce our anxiety, feel calm, ready for sleep. What we're going to do next as we move on from this exercise, I'd like to get straight into breathing light. So you're breathing deep now into your belly, nice and slow. I wonder if you can now swing that focus, the spotlight of your focus onto your nose. The feeling of the air as it moves in and out through your nose. Feeling the slightly cooler air as it enters your nostrils. Slightly warmer air, conditioned air leaving your nostrils. And now see if you can make your breathing quiet, silent in fact. First of all, imagining if there was somebody next to you, could you make it quiet enough so that they couldn't hear you breathing? And then contracting in further. Can you make it so quiet that you can't hear it? This time of year, that might be easier said than done if you've got a cold or anything, but have a go. And now can you hide, to the best of your ability, any movement? Can you soften and hide the movement of your breathing? There's always going to be a little bit. Can you reduce that movement almost down to nothing? All the time being aware of the slightly cooler air entering your nostrils, slightly warmer air leaving them. And the instruction for breathe light Quite simple, but quite hard to master. Can you breathe a little bit less air? With the goal of creating a little bit of air hunger. So if you've been filling the container up to 100%, can you instead fill it up to about 70%? So the goal here is to create this little feeling of air hunger, the feeling that you'd like to be breathing a bit more air, that you'd like to be taking a slightly bigger breath. And we do that by making the breathing soft, quiet, still. We need to step up to this feeling of air hunger and then just hang around there. If you go a little bit too far, you might find your breathing suddenly feels a little bit erratic and you're not in control, in which case take some deeper breaths and take a step back. Decide if you want to join in again. If it just doesn't make you feel good, if you're not content with the feeling that's being generated, again, take some bigger breaths. Take a step back. But if you're happy in this state, can you surf the wave of air hunger? That's where the fun is. That's where the good stuff happens. You got to catch the wave by slowing down the breathing, breathing light, making your breathing quiet, breathing in less air than you would like. But you don't want to get wiped out by the wave. If you go a little bit too far, that might happen. So as we do this, the feeling of air hunger is the feeling of carbon dioxide building up in your body. You're not exhaling as much as you'd like to. That's the feeling of wanting to breathe a little bit more air. If we allow that to happen in a controlled way, there are some wonderful benefits. Carbon dioxide is a vasodilator, opens up the blood vessels. You get better blood flow around your body. You might feel your hands warming up if you have cold hands. You might feel your feet warming up if you're very lucky. It means you're getting better blood flow to all your organs and to your brain. You also, by something called the Boer effect, you get better oxygen delivery as well. So your brain is getting a good supply of blood, a good supply of oxygen. We're nice and relaxed. Usually that means we have a feeling of peacefulness, stillness, and calm. The fizziness that often exists in our minds from overstimulation, faster breathing, begins to settle. Breathing light, quiet, still. Slightly cooler air entering your nostrils. Slightly warmer air leaving them. So we'll just stay here another 30 seconds or so. Enjoying the stillness, enjoying the calm. Okay, you slowly drop that exercise. Do whatever your body wants to do now to respond, which is probably to take a slightly fuller breath and breathe out a little bit. So in fact what we'll do is we'll wind things up with another round of the physiological side, because it feels good. So when you're ready, taking a nice big deep breath in. Little sip. Ah, sigh it out. Nice big breath in. Top it up and sigh it out. And again, nice big breath in. Top it up. Ah, sigh it out. And again, big breath in. Top it up. Ah. And one more for good. Big breath in. Top it up. Sigh it out. There we go. We'll leave it there. Thanks very much for coming along to the first Breathing Buddies of 26.